The real reason why you're struggling to become who you're meant to be is because you're pretending to be somebody you're not. Clock it. Welcome and welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Chai Guidance. And yes, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, it's not for you. Do not force it. Let it fly. But most importantly, grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to go over and discuss that you becoming who you need to be is just you embracing who you already are, as well as if you struggle with a sense of identity or a sense of self, with some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and just certain things that you should be aware of. So starting off with today's video, certain things that you need to be aware of, starting off with the disclaimers. If you want to be the best version of yourself and you have a vision and you know what you need to do in order for you to accomplish that reality, why would it be hard? Why would it be difficult? It's only difficult to become the person we're meant to be when we're not being honest with ourselves, with who we are, what it is that we're capable of, and what it is that we actually want. So it's really important that before you fix your face or feel frustrated or feel overwhelmed about becoming the best version of yourself or elevating or ascending, you just need to ask yourself who you are right now. You need to be honest with where you are right now. This doesn't mean that it's not a process. This doesn't mean that you're not going to grow. This doesn't mean that you're not going to change. But what I realized is that I didn't have to become a specific person in order for me to be the best version of myself because it was already installed in me. It was just the choices and the actions that I was making or that I wasn't making. If you want to, let's just say, live a physical, healthier life, and that's involving yourself with healthy nutrients, eating healthy, being mindful of what you consume, then if that is what you genuinely want to do and it's in your nature, you will make the necessary changes to stop eating fast food. You will make the necessary changes to go see a nutritionist. You will make the necessary changes to invest into exercising, meditation, yoga, Pilates, or personal trainer. Like, you will make sure that you go to your physician. You will make sure that you'll start taking certain supplements. Like, so many people make becoming who they're wanting to be so much more difficult and more challenging than what it is. So that's just the first thing to be aware of. That's your first disclaimer. The second disclaimer is that once you are honest, once you do decide what it is that you want, making the time for it, it's really not hard once you know what it is that you want and what you have control over. I feel like a lot of people, and let me know if you struggle with this, and be honest, like, it's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. It's nothing wrong with being honest. Nobody's here to judge you. It's a judge-free environment. A lot of people struggle with becoming the best version of themselves because they're wanting to be somebody, but they're not willing to put in the work. So the example was being physically healthy. You cannot say that you want to be physically healthy if you're not willing to cut off certain foods, if you're not willing to take certain supplements, if you're not willing to exercise or make that a part of your reality or your routine. We have time, we have energy, we have effort. Like, this doesn't mean that when you are elevating or ascending that it may be time consuming or may be convenient for you. But if this is something that you want, it wouldn't be an issue and it wouldn't matter how long it takes. You're also going to realize what's in your control. So for example, I'm currently on a diet. I know that if I want to be this physically fit person that I'm talking about as an example that I'm giving, that I did have to cut off certain foods. I did have to cut off certain amount of sugars and sweets and processed foods. Like, I had to stop eating certain things. I had to change the way that I was eating and nurturing my body. So it's just like, figure out what it is that you want. Be intentional and realize what's in your control. Like I said, immediately, you may not be able to invest into a personal trainer. Nobody's saying that you have to go to the gym the next day. But it's like, you have to be able to figure out, okay, the next time and the next day that I have with myself, what foods can I start replacing? Or when can I take the time to go to see my nutritionist or to see a physician? Or if I could Google on YouTube, because that's what you're on right now, how to start exercising for 30 days, 20 days at home. You cannot complain or make excuses when it comes to the things that you want to be, because it's who you are. And that's the third disclaimer and the third thing to be aware of. It should feel like first nature. It shouldn't feel forced. If you're having to force yourself to do certain things, it's not in alignment with you. And that to me is one of the biggest disclaimers. Once you realize that what you may want to do may not look like what everybody else is doing or how everybody else perceives certain things to be done, you're not going to be comparing yourself. You're not going to be worried. You're not going to be trying to explain yourself. You're not going to have anything to prove. Like, you're going to be honest with yourself. If you know that you don't want to exercise every day, you're not going to exercise every day. If you do want to exercise every day, then you're going to make the time to exercise every day. Who we're meant to be is who we already are. So if it's difficult and it's challenging, you need to ask yourself, is this the person that I really want to be? Because it's like a lot of people put so much time and so much energy and so much effort into trying to change or be something, and they quit or they give up, or they have those reality checks where they're asking themselves, if I really want this, or if I really want to be this person, am I willing to show up? You got to be honest with yourself. You can't be out here lying to yourself, because that's why a lot of times it seems like putting in all this time, all this energy and effort is not going anywhere or unnoticed. So the fourth disclaimer is that when you are figuring out who you want to be and what it is that you want to do, you have to take your time. Like, who you are doesn't have to make sense to anybody else if they're not a part of your picture. You get to determine what the picture looks like. You get to determine who's in your life and why they're in your life, and vice versa. If they're not in alignment with the things that you want to be and who you want to be and how you want to live your life, you don't have to associate yourself with them. You don't have to be affiliated with them. You could create distance. You could have boundaries. It's not about being arrogant. It's not about being condescending, or conceited. It's not about thinking that you're better than everyone else. It's just everything is not for everybody, and that's okay. So finally, as you're becoming yourself, just allow yourself to figure out what it is that you want. You have to make time in order for you to receive time for yourself. So like, whenever you have the chance, whenever you're not watching these videos, whenever you do have like a moment to yourself, because you're going to have a moment to yourself, whether it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 2 days, 3 weeks, however long, be intentional. And ask yourself, and let me know in the comment section as you're taking these notes. Ask yourself, who am I? What do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I have right now? What resources, what tools, what education, what finances do I have to contribute to who I want to be? And also write down the things that you don't want, so you can stop focusing on people and places and things who are not pouring into you or who pour into yourself. So now when it comes to the recommendations, number one, it should feel natural. It's important that you create vision boards. It's important that you journal and affirm, but it's so important that you take the action. What has helped me along my healing journey and just living for the past 28 years was to come to the conclusion that all I had to do was make certain choices. It is so simple, you guys. People, like I said, make things so much more complicated over here. I don't like to stress. I don't like to be complicated. Don't make things complicated for me, because then it requires too much energy. That's how you become anxious. That's how you get anxiety. And that's how you become depressed. And those are 3 things I'm not experiencing, okay? And neither are you. What actions do you need to do in order for you to be the person you want to be? It's simple. What do you need to do? If you want to lose weight, what do you need to do to lose weight? And because there is no right or wrong way to lose weight, you have so many ways to lose weight. You can lose weight by getting Ozempic. You can lose weight by going to the gym. You can lose weight by getting a personal trainer. You can lose weight by getting lipo. You can lose weight by walking. You can lose weight by fasting. There's so many ways to do the things that you want. It's just, what is it that you need to do? That's the first recommendation. Figure out what actions, what steps, what choices, what decisions. The second recommendation, once again, goes back to the disclaimers and just things that you need to be aware of. Prioritizing the time and the energy and effort it takes to make these realities possible, to make your goals a reality, So you need to practice time management. You need to be practical and realistic about how much time you have to start to invest into yourself or invest into the things that you want. So if you know you work maybe like 3 days out of 7, but then those other 4 days, you need to be mindful of, okay, how much time do I have to do this? On what days can I do that? Like, you need a schedule. You need a routine. Once again, It doesn't have to look like what everybody else is doing, but you need structure, you need system, because that's how you get things done. If you're not taking the time to have a routine or to be organized or to have structure, how are you going to get it done? Even if you do one thing a day within those 4 days that you're off for like 30 minutes, as long as you continue to show up, and that's going to be the third and fourth recommendation, why would you not be able to see the things that you want? Why would you not be able to make the changes? And that's the third recommendation. Or the fourth one. Let me know, because I lost count. You cannot rush the process. You have to be consistent. And consistency could take years. Like, shout out and rest in peace to Andre Talley. He stated, he's a very well-known person that was into the fashion industry and just in general, said that sometimes in life, it could take 30 years. It could take 20 years. It could take 40 years. It could take 10 years. It could take 5 years. It could take a year. You have to be able to sustain and maintain the process. So it's like, if your goal is to lose weight, if your goal is to physically become healthier, that may take a year to just start to see results. And then you want to maintain that. So the rest of your life, it becomes a lifestyle. Like, you have to be able to show up. You have to be able to make the investments for yourself. You have to be committed. If you're not committed, you're not going to be consistent. So it's just like, before you say you want to be somebody, you need to make sure that you're putting your time, your energy, and effort, because it's a process. Especially if you may not have all the resources and all the tools when you decide that enough is enough, or that you want to elevate, or that you want to change. Like, you have to be willing to show up when you don't see results. You have to be able to still make the time and energy and effort when things are not working out how you want them to. And the fourth recommendation, when you decide to be the best version of yourself, you can't be distracted. You can't listen to people and places and things that you're going to outgrow, or, like I said, that are not a part of the picture. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter how they feel. If they're not willing to contribute, pour into you emotionally, physically, financially, let them say what they need to say. Because I'm telling you, as time continues to progress and as you continue to show up, you're going to separate yourself from them. It starts energetically. You're no longer going to be compatible with them. You're no longer going to be able to resonate with them. That's okay. Outgrow the people and the places and things that are not a part of who you want to be and where you want to go. Lastly, when it comes to you being who you want to be, just be mindful of what you're doing daily. If we're being completely honest, like, what you do every day, it does matter. A lot of people think that what they do in a day, oh, tomorrow's going to be the same. Tomorrow's only going to be the same if you made certain choices the previous day. And it's like, you don't know. Like, a lot of people think and have these expectations that tomorrow is going to be the same. You're going to have a day where you think you're going to go somewhere, you're going to do something, and unfortunately, you're not going to be here anymore. And that's the same thing with me. So it's just like, while you have the time, while you have the energy, sit with yourself, allow yourself to self-reflect, allow yourself to make the necessary changes, and do the things that you want in this life. Don't wait until time passes you by 20, 30, 40, 50 years later. And even still, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your gender, but it's like, if you have the time and energy and effort now, do it now, because I'm speaking from experience. The longer you wait to do something that you know you're supposed to do, the more challenging and more difficult it's going to seem. So with that being said, like always, thank you guys for always watching all the way to the end, as well as turning on your post notification and subscribing, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up and commenting down below. Follow me on all my social media platforms. All the information is down in the description box below, as well as my website, www.tygoddesssummer.com. When you guys follow me on my social media platforms, specifically on Instagram and on TikTok, I will be going live the rest of this month of November, answering you guys' questions, comments, concerns, and let me know what you guys want to talk about for the month of December, and in the post community section here on YouTube, and what resonated with you, what you need to work on, and just things maybe that aren't working with you. And yeah, just know that you don't have to do too much to be who you're meant to be. Like, if it doesn't feel natural, it's not for you. And it's like, once a lot of people, including myself, once I was able to be honest with myself and realize what felt natural and what felt forced, I was just like, okay, that's not who I am. And that's okay. Like, you're allowed to decide who you want to be and why you want to be that person. And once again, you don't have to over explain that or prove it. Like, the people who get me, those who don't, They're not important, okay? Love you, bye.